What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Last night, I received some messages on TikTok, right? And this particular subscriber, he's a friend of mine. When he sends me stuff, I know it's usually going to lead to content, right? And here we are. It was some TikToks. I think it was Florida Fools. And it was a short or a TikTok that he posted about Little Weirdo and P-Face being over there in Fresno. Where do we start? Do we start with the names? Little Weirdo and P-Face. Raza nowadays has have the craziest names, right? Like there's a lot of places in this country, especially in the state of California. If you call somebody a weirdo, that can lead to some stuff. Like that, without any hesitation. And this guy is like, I almost said it. I'm not letting you clip that. He's Little Weirdo with a smile. And then P-Face, think about it. P-Face. I'm old though, so I'm stuck on the wrong thing. Here's the thing. I guess these guys went to Fresno to film a video, do a hit and run, film a video. And then next thing you know, Little Weirdo is on IG in Fresno arguing with Bulldogs. I'm from such a different era, man. Like seriously, I'm from such a different era. I don't care how down you are. Speaking from personal experience, right? Back in the days, I don't give a damn how down you are. I don't give a damn how many guns you have. You only got two hands, eh? I don't care if you brought 1,000 guns and 4 dudes. That's only 8 guns that are gonna be able to fire off at once. You go in there, when you're out of bounds and you go into anybody's neighborhood, if you're not there to put in work, then you be respectful. You understand you are completely outnumbered and you can't win. Not if you plan on trying to hang out. And the longer you're there, especially if you're messing with any of the local women where you're at, you don't understand the type of danger you're in. It seems like these youngsters nowadays, the rappers specifically, they don't have anyone around them that knows about business. The vatos from Fresno, I've never so in prison, my very first shoot term was an unfortunate incident that happened over a basketball game with the Bulldogs. Prior to the incident, everybody was feed, man. You know, it was during the red light. Nobody's fucking with the Bulldogs or the Northerners. They're dealing with their issues. We were cool. The incident happened. Boom, 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 boom. That happened. As soon as it was over, we were cool. It wasn't personal. It was business, right? Now let's get back to business. They've always shown me love. Even look, TikTok and YouTube, they show me love. Them dudes have always been respectful. And I'm not even in a genre like hip hop where I could really financially benefit from them dudes always showing me love. Still, they're in my comments, they're on my lives, showing love. Imagine being a rapper and you're dependent upon other people to buy your music. If you want to be successful and you keep alienating huge areas that could potentially be financially profitable for you. So we have all these fucking Southern California rappers that are harder than the vatos that are behind the walls, you know, really doing shit and having an understanding, at least with the Northerners, right? No, the vatos out here are harder than hard. They disrespect the North. They disrespect Fresno. They've disrespected at times other states, or at least there's been some bad interactions with raza from out of state. And I'm like, what do these vatos want to do? Like all this Southern California rappers on serio. Like, this is why you vatos have side jobs that are really your real jobs, and rap is just a stupid hobby you have. Like you play dress up on the weekends. Especially the one Cantinflas vato that sags, 40 years old sagging. Like, these guys need some guidance, eh? And then supposedly that, you know, I don't know if it's true or not. I know, you know, drama sells, but supposedly the Airbnb that Little Weirdo and P-Face were in got vandalized. By vandalized, it looked like there was some, you know, it got hit with several bullets. And, you know, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I just find it very weird, man, that somebody would be, and correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is Little Weirdo isn't even a gang member. So if you're not a gang member, I know you're from SD. Shout out to SD. I love San Diego. And I'm sure Little Weirdo has shooters around him. All these rappers do, of course. But if you're not a gang member, then you were the perfect candidate to rep your area that you grew up in and also embrace other areas and make money there and have everybody else be like, damn, Holmes, imagine making that type of feria. Imagine actually having a career in hip hop, especially after you put all these quack tattoos on your face. I mean, what can you do after rap? Let me let you in on something. You know, I saw another YouTuber, supposedly he knows what time it is. You know, recently he and I got into something on a live. He did a video about Southerners in the joint having a transaction with the blacks, and it was he made it so dramatic. It was like the worst thing you could ever do. And I saw that video years ago, right? And I laughed about it. And it's more of an example of how vatos don't know how business works in there, right? And it trickles to out here. When vatos don't have the proper education, the proper understanding on what's important and how to get that money, then they will fuck their money off. And we've seen them consistently fuck their money off. And I'm going to give you an example. In the joint, it was known. I don't know now what's going on. But before, it was known. Do not, if you're a Southerner, you do not buy dope. You ain't buying no kind of dope off of the blacks. Period. The reason for that, I'm going to just go into two reasons. One reason was so everyone else doesn't get dragged in onto some shit when you can't pay your debt. And everybody else got to come, and now we're at war because this one fucking dope fiend over here couldn't pay his debt. There's that. But you know the most important, way more important part? Because you're taking money away from our thing and you're sending it to them. So the money is supposed to stay with the raza, right? So getting money is a very important thing behind the walls. I'm not going to get in. Those of you that know, you know, right? And I made a lot of money in there. And I took care of a lot of people when I was doing it. I took care of people that weren't, you know, so-called somebodies. They were my camaradas. They had put in a gang of work. They were stuck in the shoe. They never asked me for nothing, Holmes. But when I was making my feria, bam, here you go, Holmes. There you go, homie. because I recognized the work they put in, the things that they did, the sacrifices that they made, and they were slammed down because of it. And I respected it and I showed love for it, right? So there was an opportunity that came my way. When I was an idiot, when I was moving dope in prison, I was always looking for new runners. Anybody who didn't care about their visits and were willing to fuck them off for some dope, if they got at me, let's do this. How much you willing to bring in? How often? Just let me know. And one day, there was an individual. He used to come to my door every single day. He was a Mac rep. He's a Crip from neighborhood Crips. Shout out to the neighborhood Crips. And every day we come to my cell. What's up, man? You good? You need me to run anything? You need anything? I'm good, Holmes. Gracias. Okay. And then he would take off. Every day, in the morning and at night. One day he comes up to me and I noticed he started getting visits. And he comes to me and he says, hey, man, I don't know if I'm out of line, but I wanted to get at you. I said, what's up? He said, you notice I've been getting visits and stuff now, right? I said, yeah. He said, would you let me bring in some of your dope? I said, don't you have your own connections? He said, man, that ain't no, I want good dope. Everybody on the yard knows you got the best dope. I used to get my dope out of the Coachella Valley. I said, you want to do this? You want to make some money? He said, yeah. I said, bring my shit in. That fool started running for me, just like other dudes. And I broke him off what he had coming. And I was making a killing on the yard. And I was taking care of everybody I needed to take care of. And if you think that I didn't get this cleared from the highest levels, you got it fucked up. So when I see raza, rappers, not vatos that are out there shooting, not vatos that are like guys that are fucking rhyming on music, disrespecting the North, disrespecting Fresno, cutting off potential funds from Northern California, from Central California, from other states, I'm really scratching my head. I'm like, damn, Holmes. What are these vatos in this rap thing for? Because there's very few people that are listening to that. Honestly, I put on Little Weirdo's music as I was getting, ready today, brushing my teeth and stuff, washing up. I put it on. And I had to put myself like, okay, if I was younger, I would probably like this music. The age I am, I'm not into that. He was talking about pulling a train on a chick and then making her a booty call and leaving her to the homies. And I've never been into that, Holmes. You're talking about a Mexicana, one of our own. And you vatos are pulling trains on her and passing her around. Yeah, I'm good, Holmes. I don't need to hear that. I guess these youngsters, that's cool to them. It ain't cool to me. Not to my ears. I don't know how you vatos plan on making money, eh? Shout out to Fresno. Shout out to the South. Shout out to the North. Shout out to everybody. Crips, Bloods, GDs, BDs, like everybody. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to everybody in the struggle and everybody that missed the struggle. Shout out to everybody who knows how to get money and is out there getting it. My condolences to those of you who keep engaging in business practices that are shitting on you. Like, you're making conscious decisions. Hey, fuck that vato. Hey, fuck that guy, man. He's from where? Man, you're a rapper, homie. If you were really gonna be in the streets, get in the, they're right there. The streets are right there. The streets are calling. all the time. The vatos that are really in it, they answer the call. And then they find out sooner or later, there's no success stories in the streets. I couldn't imagine having a talent, the ability to make music, making that my dream, and then just shutting off every avenue for me to be a success, for me to fulfill that dream. Hopefully, one of you guys, man, I don't care where you're from. If you're from down south or you're from up north, I don't care where you're from. But hopefully, one of you guys will get it together. Lefty keeps getting close and then he'll say something. That last song, with the one where the game's doing the hook, he didn't diss the North. He said Northerners. Now, he did say he's the only reason why they're getting clout, that is disrespectful. But he didn't use a disrespectful term. Lefty gets close and then boom, something happens. It's going to happen though. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And when it happens, I think it'll open up the doors for more people. But for right now, we got a whole bunch of killers holding pens in their hand, huh? That's my video for today, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.